Hey there guys, Yoda Joe 93. So this video is long overdue, but I want to get this done. So, as you know, I seen No Way Home last week, 3 times now. And without further ado guys, I want to talk about spoilers with you about No Way Home. So, we're going to do this. This will be a 3-part series. I think there will be 3 major things to discuss. So, spoiler review number 1. So, spoiler review No Way Home Part 1, starting now. So, in No Way Home, we start the movie, we get the fallout from Far From Home, where Peter ends up, on the run. His identity is outed, picks up right where it left off. Him and MJ are running for their lives. Everyone's going crazy, they're swinging through the city, and there's banter between the characters about, oh, can I go to your dad's house? And, well, not anymore, type of really interesting dynamics like that. And so Peter's just being shunned by everyone, and then he gets, he swings into his old apartment with Aunt May and Happy, but they just had a fight. So they broke up, and then now Peter comes in and wants to talk to them about the relationship because he's trying to avoid his problems. So he's closing all the windows, and then we realize that all the people are there at the door, and they're all taken into custody by pretty much damage control. So, and then they're being asked questions like Zendaya, well, I should say MJ, Ned. Everyone's being asked questions, and Ned reveals that he literally has helped Peter since day one, and could be considered his number one accomplice in all the Spider-Man antics that could lead to the death of Mysterio. So that's pretty crazy. and then on top of that, you have and then Aunt May talks to the guys, and she says, you can't charge me, and he's like, child endangerment, that's a big serious charge. He's like, you guys should seriously lawyer up. So then the literal next scene we get, guys, is they say lawyer up, and Happy's being consulted about a lawyer as well. And basically, so we get to the room, everyone's sitting down at the table meeting with a lawyer in their home. And so basically, you hear the sound of a cane enter the room, and then Kevin Feige shoves pretty much Matt Murdock right in our face, guys. That's right. Daredevil from the Daredevil show, Charlie Cox, my favorite Marvel character, is officially back, and now he's in the MCU, guys. And he was only here for a quick minute, but this was incredible. So that was absolutely fantastic to see. Really cool to see him in this part, and really dug what was going on. It was super cool to see that happen. So I'm loving that. I can't wait to see him. And then the best thing is, so he's trying to help Peter and give everyone options and do their thing, help Happy at the same time because of all the Stark conspiracy. And then a brick flies through the window, and Matt catches it, and Peter's like, how'd you do that? And he's like, I'm a really good lawyer. And it was hilarious because we all know it's because he's a superhero, which was awesome, truly amazing to see. And then after all his troubles and everything he's struggling with, Peter, MJ, and Ned try so hard to get into college, but they keep getting denied constantly. Like MJ says, if you expect disappointment, then you'll never be disappointed. So it just kind of keeps coming, and when he goes back to school, his teachers act kind of weird towards him, and they're like, and one person was a conspiracy, so Mysterio isn't happy, but they made a nice thing for him, and all those things. It's awesome. So he does that, and it's pretty cool to see. So he does that, and his teachers are kind of being funny towards him, and then the whole school is just surrounding him and has questions for him, and all these crazy things going on, and so then we get to the next part, right? So Peter then goes to Doctor Strange because their lives are so messy, and it's not just his life, everyone's life is miserable. So he goes to Doctor Strange to ask if he can go back in time to make it where people didn't realize that his identity was outed. So then they have a conversation. We find out Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme, which is hilarious. He's got people shoveling in the Sanctum Sanctorum because of literally what was going on. So that was pretty interesting. And because Strange was blipped for 5 years, Wong got to be Sorcerer Supreme on a technicality. So that was pretty interesting. So Doctor Strange and tells Peter not to call him Sir, because he's like, I'm pretty sure you're beyond calling me Sir because we saved the universe together for 5 years. And so he says, okay, so call me Steven. And he's like, that feels weird, but I'll allow it. So pretty good banter between them. And then he says, okay, well, we can't, and Wong have a conversation like, so we can't do this, but what if we do this? So he's like, all right, I can't go back in time because I don't have the time stone. But what if I can literally go and be like, oh, I can erase all the memories of people who know who Peter Parker is, and I can make a new spell. And Wong's just like, I don't remember that party because it is a forgetting spell, which is hilarious. So, and Wong's like, oh, leave me out of it, and then he portals away. But, so Strange and Peter go to a place, like in the basement, where they can literally go and conduct this spell. And Peter says, and Doctor Strange is like, nice knowing you, Spider-Man. And so then Peter's like, what? Yeah, so everyone who knows Spider-Man is going to forget who Spider-Man is. It will be like he never existed. So then they try to do this spell, but every time Peter wants Aunt May to know, he wants Ned to know, he wants his girlfriend to know, he tries to get Happy to know, and then Strange says, I'm annoyed, and the spell gets botched. And because the spell gets botched, we learn that, oh, nothing happens, but actually what happened is he thinks he contained it, but what happens is every person who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man starts coming into the MCU in this moment. So then Doctor Strange and Peter have a conversation if the spell gets botched, and basically Strange sends Peter away because Strange realizes that Peter didn't call MIT before talking to him. So then basically he's like, oh. So then he realizes he can go call him. So he calls Flash, and kind of like, because Flash so wants to be Spider-Man's best friend, so he gives him all these things like, tell me where the MIT advisor is. So then he goes to the bridge, and he goes to talk to her, and he has a very bad, awkward speech with her that doesn't go very well. But then Doc Ock shows up, proving that people from other worlds are showing up, and it's Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, and they face off. It's epic. There's some humor. Peter has some funny clips with him, and then he gets his face revealed after Doc Ock discovering the nanotech. Because remember, Doc Ock thinks this is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man because he's not used to being in this universe. But then his face gets revealed, and then Ock gets dealt with, and then at some point, Peter gets to talk to the advisor after she saves her life, and she says, "Look, I'll talk to MIT about Ned, MJ, and you. You all deserve a fair shot, pretty much." And that was epic. And so then, right as everything's turning out good, Peter's got Ock where he wants him, but then Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, shows up, and so Ock says, so Pumpkinmon rolls onto the bridge in epic fashion, and you hear cackling, and then he says, Osborn, and then Doctor Strange poofs everyone away to reveal that he's already captured the Lizard, and so he revealed that he's already captured one of the variants, and there's Doc Ock, and they have a funny joke about Doctor Strange magic being like, oh, I do magic at birthday parties, and then he builds Peter a device constructed from magic to zap people back into the cells. So it gets pretty interesting, and then Doctor Strange basically talks to Peter, and then Peter pretty much has to go and gather these guys. So then he goes out and he meets Flint Marko's Sandman from Spider-Man 3, who helps him battle Electro, and they're able to contain Electro, but then Peter ends up blasting both Electro and Sandman. And what's great about that is Electro's got a new look now. He's different. He looks more like Jamie Foxx. He's got hair now. He's got some great personality. It's fantastic, guys. So, alright guys, this is going to do it for part 1 of this video. I hope you enjoyed my spoiler talk for Spider-Man No Way Home, part 1. Part 2 will be released very soon. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.